I'll read. So I'm bringing you something slightly different today. It's a tool or a system to actually give you knowledge to improve your Betfair trading, sports trading. The idea behind it is the more knowledge you get, then the better you get at Betfair trading, and the more successful you become. I've been following these guys for a while now, and it might be new to some of you, but I think a lot of people following my channel will actually know of them. The biggest selling point is that all the information is absolutely free. It's by far the best free system on the market, basically, that I've found anyway. Can't can't praise it enough, really, for all the content you get and all the tools. And I'm going to go through those. I'm going to go through some of those with you today. Hopefully, give you a brief introduction to what the trading academies, the trading the market is all about. So, trading the market, then TTM. It's made up basically of three main parts. You've got this website here, which you're looking at now. You've got a YouTube channel down here, and you've also got a Discord server here. And putting them all three together, it's very, very powerful. So if I go through the website first, and bear in mind, like I say, everything on here is absolutely 100% free, and that's the main principle. That's a basic principle behind their setup. Everything's free, and you may have heard of things like Betfair Trading Community is one example. I think they charge 30 or 40 quid a month, and to be honest, I don't think they give anything over and above what these guys do. In fact, trading the market's probably got more information and more strategies and more tools available to you for free. Whereas if you went to something like one of the competitors, and trading the market do mention them as well, don't pay for anything else when you can get all this for free, basically. So just moving along the top of the website here, then it's I'm actually logged in here. So what I'd suggest is get onto the website tradingthemarket.co.uk, sign up for a free account. It's totally free. So sign up here at the bottom, down here, and you'll get access to all the tools. So you can download all the spreadsheets and tools that you need that are available on the site. I'll just go along in order here. So starting off with, you've got like videos, and these are just links to the ones on YouTube. So you can either look at them here, or you can look at them on YouTube itself. So I'd also recommend going onto their YouTube channel and subscribing. We'll go onto YouTube in a little bit in this video. So then what they have got is the courses, which is part of the Trading the Market Academy. As you can see, yeah, there's some of them coming soon because it's constantly being developed, this site as well. Just one thing I should say. So where you've got coming soon here, they'll be on at some point, but obviously it must be taking these guys a long time to get all these bits and pieces up. But you can see you've even got like Formula One trading, cricket, American sports, greyhounds, tennis, horse racing, football. There's the mentality side of things, and then there's the basics of things. One of the ones I went into here, the paid for courses, which are free. It's got 6 great ideas. If you're struggling for ideas on what to trade, there's actually 6 ready built ideas that you can go in and watch these videos, and it'll tell you the ins and outs of what you need to do to trade these strategies. This first one was interesting for me because I'm a bit of a passive guy, and I want to be able to do all this while I'm doing something else. So if I go back a little bit, one of the trading the market philosophies is if you're doing trading to do kind of instill on you that you should really be sitting. So say for example you were trading on a football match, a certain strategy, they kind of instill that ideally you should be sitting watching that game live, so you know what's going on in it. You can see sort of whether there's like one team better than the other, having more possession, having more attacks, having more shots, that kind of thing. That's fine if you've got plenty of time, but I'm the kind of person who doesn't want to sit and watch a football match that I'm not particularly interested in. Obviously you'd have a bit more interest if you were trading it, but it's 90 minutes of my life I'm not going to get back, as the way I see it. So I'm not against the philosophy. I totally get where they're coming from. I totally get that it would work better if you were sitting watching the game and how it develops and unfolds. Whereas me, I want to just sort of I'm all about passive automation. And that's what I'm trying to find. So this passive profit one was interesting to me. And what I'll do in a future video, I will actually drill down this in more detail. This video here, it's only 1.5 minutes, but there is a video on YouTube that goes into in a lot more detail. And what I've done is I've actually created a strategy, the Betfair bot manager strategy that runs automatically, and based on this system, and I will actually put that in I'll put it in a future video, and I'll also share the strategy with anybody who wants to use it on Betfair bot manager. I think it's only fair to and obviously then, hopefully together we can get it up and running and working well. It is working okay, but I only got it started just before the end of the season. Now there's not much football, and it was only getting on sort of high profile games, so it's not getting on many, if any, games at all now. So I'm thinking about changing it a little bit so it doesn't have to get on such high profile games, but I'll go into all that in a future video. So that's 6. So if you go down to the bottom, paid for courses free, there's 6 videos in there which has 6 strategies, which normally you would be expected to pay for those, and they're all free as well. It's amazing what these guys have done, to be honest. And then we come to downloads and tools, and it's it just gets even better, to be honest. So if we go to downloads, they've got they've basically got a daily football selection tool, and and then they've got a greyhound profiling tool and a profit and loss sheet. So these are just 3. The daily football selection tool is a series of spreadsheets that gets updated daily, and it gives you all the stats you need behind the upcoming games for the day that you need to actually, and you can use those stats to develop your strategies and what you want to trade on and what you want to bet on. And it's things like that. I think that tool alone is kind of what the Betfair trading community sort of sells its system on, 30 quid a month. I was only a member for 1 or 2 months, but I just packed it in because I didn't think it was providing particularly good value. I'm not sort of dissing them or anything. Some people might find that kind of thing fine, but I'd rather have this kind of thing for free and then develop things myself, with the help of people on this site as well, and the Discord server and stuff. And I'll be honest, I haven't really looked at the daily football selection tool that much because I haven't had the time. But I have downloaded it, and it looks really good and has really high potential. I haven't downloaded or looked at the greyhound profile tool at all, and I haven't looked at that one either. But you can see a little description of them all here. And again, you really need to sign up to this site and just get on it and have a look around. And then as for the tools, so if I just go through these one by one briefly, again, I haven't used these in much detail. But if you just click on them, so this is a greyhound tool, and as you can see, it's just phenomenal, really. It's it's got all the tracks, all the races. So you can see Harlow here has highlighted 10:46. I'm assuming that's the first race of the day. So you got distance, a grade. You can look at history for all races for all dogs, last 12 months, last 6 months, 3 months, last 10 races. So it's up to you what you want to select here and filter on. It defaults to 10 races. I'm assuming that must be the sort of standard for what you want to go with. But even just looking at that race there, you can see like average times by distance only, average times by grade and distance, average times by trap and distance, average time by trap, grade and distance. And it's got all these, like, so where green, that's the fastest of the 6 traps. So track 1 looks like it has potential over distance and also grade and distance. You can see trap 6 is practically the slowest in every single category. So, just looking at that, I would probably, you potentially say, well, I'll put a lay bet on trap 6 because it doesn't look like it's got a chance in hell of winning. But obviously, I'm assuming trap 6 is going to be wrong outsider anyway. But it just gives you an idea of what you can do with this tool. Just to, it's got all the history down here as well for each of the 6 traps. So if we wanted to look at trap 6, we would just click on that dog there, and you can see all the history of when it last run. It's only run at Harlow, for example, and these are all the dates it's run and the times and where it finished. Really good stuff. I'm not going to go into that in any more detail. It's just a brief introduction. Like I say, I haven't used it anyway in any great detail. But there will be help on the forum and on the Discord server and stuff. If you want to use any of these tools, you'll get loads of help. You've then got 4 football things. You've got 3 tools here. This second half goal, lay the draw, and Dutch and the correct score, which is something I've really got interested in recently, which I'll come on to. But the first one, second half goal. So you've got all these filters up here, which you can change. These are percentages you can put in. Once you change this up, it changes these numbers here. So you can click that to go back to the default filters. But if you start changing these, and if anybody wants videos on these, just ask the guys on the system for help. I wasn't planning on doing any myself unless anybody's really keen. But looking here, you can see these 100%, 2 games with 100%. I'm not going to even attempt to try and pronounce these games, but the 100% relates to over half a goal in the last 8 games. So you can see this is 100% that there's over half a goal over the last 8 games. So the idea there being, and you can see here that these stats come from Soccer Stats Direct. Idea there being is you could put a bet on there that being, or you could lay the 0-0 draw, or you could put a bet on to say there's going to be over half a goal on that game and possibly that game or any of the highlighted games. And again, what you could do is, there's another one down there, I didn't see that bottom one. What you could do is actually paper trade all these. So you could take all these games that are playing today, that have been recommended today, and paper trade all these. So you could see, which of these have had over half a goal. And if all the 100% ones come in and the 94 all highlighted ones come in, that it's just providing all these stats for you. And here's the stats as well for a second half goal, and it's highlighting the highest ones there. So it's highlighted 4 there. This percentages aren't as high, so but like I say, I don't know what these percentages actually mean in terms of the actual trade winning or losing. So second half goal, 76% chance there. So take a screenshot of this and have a look later on tonight or tomorrow, because there's a couple of games there that are at midnight tonight. There's ones over in America and such. Take a screenshot of it and have a look back and just have a look for these first half goal percentages, second half goal. You've even got the over half a goal, 1.5, 2.5, 3.5 over the last over the last 8 games, and then over the season. This GP, I think, is games played, so there's been 11 games, 12, because I don't think it recommends. There's a filter there to say it has to be over 8, which you can actually take off, but by default that's on. The next tool is the lay the draw. So you can see there, there's not many at all that go on today, but this is one of them here, 100%. Looks like the away team is 100% chance of, and they've conceded the first goal in 100% of the matches. So you might want to lay the draw on there because you would expect the home team to score first, for example. And again, if you screenshot that and come back and have a look at the results tomorrow, I might do a little bit more on this on a future video, but I've got so much I'm trying to get out there at the minute that it's going to probably take a back seat. But going on to the football Dutch and the correct scores, if you look up a trading the market video on YouTube, they do a nice video on standard deviation, which is basically, I'll try and explain this in layman terms, but it's basically the average number of goals that a team's expected to score based on history. So say if a team's scored 8 goals in the last 8 games, then you'd expect them to score their expected goals is average number of goals scored is 1 per game because they've scored 8 goals over the last 8 games. But then it adds in the deviation around that as well, which can take that 1 goal up or down a certain amount. So you want those numbers to the standard deviation, this SD column, as close to 0 as you can. Now to me here, looking at these matches, and again, I'm all about trying to do simple things. I would always look for something where you had 2 yellow markers, or amber markers, whatever colour that is. So that one's got 2, but they're quite high, so that's 0.997. It's a lot closer to 1 than it is to 0. And that one's quite high, which means their average number of goals is 1.077, but the standard deviation is 0.9, so that could take it down to 1.077 minus 0.99 is very close to 0, and similarly 1.077 plus 0.997 is very close to 2. So they're saying the range there is 0 to 2. So the home team's range is 0 to 2, the away team's range is 0 to 2. So it's telling you here you need to touch the correct scores, which means putting a bet on, say, 0-0, 0-1, 0-2, 1-0, 1-1, 1-2, 2-0, 2-1, 2-2, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bets. And the idea there is, so say you put £1 on each of those bets, you spent £9 stake there, £1 on each bet, and you expect one of them to come in, but one of the popular scores might not even be 9 to 1, it might be like 6, 7, 8 to 1, which means you're losing money. So you just got to be careful in that respect. So what I would do, the game that stands out for me is this one here. The reason being is, I know that's still quite close to 1, but you've got 2 yellow markers and only 6 outcomes. So it's saying here the home team, because that's 0.89, the home team you're looking at anywhere between 0 and 2 goals, and the away team you're looking at anywhere between 0 and 1 goal. So you wouldn't expect the away team to score 2 goals. So in this instance, you only putting a bet on 6 instances. So you've got 0-0, 0-1, 1-0, 1-1, 2-0, and 2-1. I might actually go and do that and then come back. So that's 8 o'clock tonight, Wednesday the 14th. 8 o'clock tonight, you've got Raja Casablanca versus Burkina or Burkani, however you pronounce that, in the Moroccan Boutala Pro League. It didn't sound much of a pro league. Mind Morocco didn't do too bad in the last World Cup, did they? Was it Morocco? I think it was. Anyway, I'm digressing there. But yeah, so what you would do here is you'd put a pound stake, so £6, or if you want to do 50p stakes, £3. You would put those on those 6 outcomes, and you would hopefully expect one of them to come in, and then you would just hope that it was odds of 6 to 1 or higher, so you would, well, higher than 6 to 1 to get a profit, because you're spending £6, so you want your £6 back plus some profit. So I'll probably, after this video, I'll have a little quick look and see what those odds are, and I might stick something on the Discord server about it, just to see what the odds were for each of the 6 bets, and I'll put like £1 on each one and see how we get on. But that's probably the only one that stands out there. This one nearly does, because you only got 6 options, but then this is too high, so you see in there the range is 1 to 3. I mean, it's still the same as 0 to 2, because you just got 1, 2 and 3, but then if the home team doesn't score for some reason, then that's scuppering that. But you can see we're not looking at any nil scores for the home team. But that's just my layman's term on this one. I am going to look into this in a bit more detail because it's something that does interest me, because I can just bring this up every day and then put a bet on that one, for example. Or if it turns out that that one's just as good because you've got like you've only got 8 combinations, I wouldn't go on something like that because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 variations. So you'd have to put 12 bets on there because you're looking at 0 to 2 for the home team and 0 to 3 for the away team. Yeah, it just seems too many. You're not going to get your 12 quid back. So that's another tool. There's just so much. Then you've got this football simulator thing, which you can simulate random matches. So if I just click on that there, you've got Port Vale versus Salford. There's no information about when this happened. But say, for example, you wanted to just test a strategy. So if I want to test lay the draw strategy from the beginning of the game, I might say if the draw's odds of 3.25, I might want to do a lay the draw. Or if there's if those back prices for the home and away team and the draw fell within specific ranges, I might say this is a prime candidate for lay the draw. So I'd stick me lay the draw bet on here. You can see it's just default 100 quid there. You can change that to whatever you want. And I'm doing this obviously before the game's kicked off because we're at 0 minutes there. You can see the trade's gone in there. So we've laid the draw at £100 stake at odds of 3.3. So then what you do here is you just play the game. And what it does is it flicks through each minute, showing you the score, and also shows you the changes in all the odds, and it also shows you the cash out value. So you can see £1.54 down. You can also speed this up as well, so that'll forward you a minute, so you can just keep clicking that. This one will forward you like 5 minutes, and this one will forward 10 minutes. As you can see, in the 9th minute, we're £6.45 down on our £100 stake. So obviously we're looking for a goal here. So if I just keep forwarding it, I have no idea what the score was in this match and whether there was a goal. But you can see here the trade with £17 down now. So you might have a stop loss or get out at say 20 quid. At which point there you would just click on this cash out button. It would show you and it would put it in here. But I'm going to keep going because it's just obviously a simulation. I want to see if there's a goal and how much we get. So you can see now we're down to minus 30 quid of 100. This isn't something I'd recommend, by the way. So there's been a goal there. So the cash out's £9.59, which doesn't seem that much. I presume Port Vale maybe still not favourites at all, but yeah, it hasn't gone up as much as I thought it might. But you could then either cash out at the 9 quid or you just leave it going further, waiting for a second away goal. But the risk then you've got is Port Vale equalising, especially with them being at home. You would have probably cashed out here after the first goal at 9 quid. But you can see the further you get through the match, the higher the cash out is because there's less time for the equaliser to come. And I'm just going to, so could have got out at 14 quid there. And you can see it goes up and down, it's down to 30 now. It's possibly because like Port Vale have had a bit of sustained pressure or corners or free kicks or anything like that. So now with only 16 minutes to go, you can see it's up to £21 profit, but you're dicing with death here because if an equaliser comes in, you're going to lose your 100 quid, especially if it ends 1-1. I'm just going to just leave it going through to the whole at the end here. So you can see 2 minutes to go, we're still only getting £51 profit out of the £100. It's just astonishing that, it's because there is still a chance that Port Vale could grab an equaliser, even though they're 250 to 1 at this point. It'll only actually go from it'll only kind of injury time, and then it'll just jump to 100 quid when the game finishes, because obviously if the game finishes and it's not a draw, you've won your lay stake, which was £100. So that's how that works. And again, you just click on end simulation and then you just simulate a random match. The only thing is it's just random games, but it does let you test your strategy out and look at the changes in the odds and the changes in the cash out value, things like that. So that's another great tool there. There's a bit about TTM and what they're all about, so it's probably worth reading that. Have a look at the reasonings why they're doing everything for free and stuff. And there is a bit here to buy them a coffee if you think it's been any use. So So I'm just going to jump onto this YouTube channel now. So this is their YouTube channel. So if you subscribe to them there, you can see I'm subscribed. And these are all videos, and honestly, there's an absolutely abundance of videos. I think the problem with something like this is jumping on now. If you haven't heard of them or you haven't used them very much, is jumping on and trying, thinking, what do I do first? Because there is a risk of information overload. The thing I'd probably do first is pick a sport that you're interested in, and this is just my personal opinion. Pick a sport that you're interested in and pick a strategy that looks kind of interesting. If you go to playlists on YouTube, you can see they've got a few different playlists. So if you're interested in tennis, then go to that and have a look. There's only one video on tennis, mind. Horse racing, there's 8 videos. Where's football? Oh no, it's all videos. Where's football? Which has a specific. There's a beginner's guide. You could have a look at that. There's only one video on there. Have a watch of that one anyway. Oh, there's a football trading there. Yeah, there's 15 videos on the football trading. When you go into them as well, you'll see that.
I'm Greg Secker, a successful.
I'll just stop playing that. When you go in them here, you can see on the right here, you've got all the different. So you've got here like lay the half-time correct score, 13 minutes. Watch that, and you'll have a good understanding of how that strategy works. A low risk football trade, if you want something low risk, laying under 1.5 goals. That's probably something where you go in like in the 9th or 10th minute and you lay under 1.5 goals and you exit out shortly after for a profit if there hasn't been a goal. Things like that. So that's the YouTube channel. There's not much to say on that one. I don't really want to sit and play all our videos, obviously. And the final one is the Discord server. So when you're on the website, there was a link to go to the Discord server, so you can jump on that. And in here, you've got all the different categories and channels, and there's absolutely loads. You've got the academy, which is all the like training. There's a football simulator on there, which is help on the football simulator that I've just shown you. There's the trading mentality, which shows you, gives you all the getting your head space correct and that for trading. There's your football, all the different football strategies. You can see them all there. The lay over 3.5 goals, the lay under 1.5 goals. And when you go into them, there's just messages and information and help for everything. You've got both teams to score, and there's the standard deviation one I was just talking about. You've got all the horse racing stuff. You've got like dobbing and things like that. You've got your tennis. You've got your Formula 1, which is new to me. Never heard of Formula 1 trading until I got onto trading the market. You've got your greyhound stuff. You've got your golf. You've got your cricket. You've got Excel tutorials, just all sorts. And then this is interesting for me because it's like your data sheets, which is the football data that they do, the daily ones. You've got automation, betting software, bet software, Betfair bot manager, and CGM bet, which is something I want to try and get onto as well. I did actually sign up for a lifetime subscription to CGM bet about 2 months ago because it was in a sale and it was about 40 to 50 euros, I think it was, for a lifetime subscription. And to be honest, I've never even installed it because I've not had time. But I know I've got it there ready to look at when I do have time. And then you've just got like match betting and actual punting. You can see they don't do much on match betting, which I think's good in a way because I think match betting's sort of you can do it for so long and then it just pitters out. It starts off well because you've got all these like startup offers and stuff like that. Okay, so that is trading the market in a nutshell. I highly advise you get on it. I know a lot of people following myself will actually already know about it, but like I say, if you don't, I hope I've given you a bit of insight into how it works. And yeah, get over there. Mention that you come from Canny Drifters as well. Maybe get some of their subscribers heading our way if you want to do that when you introduce yourself on the Discord server. tell them where you found out about them, just to help me out a little bit as well, if you don't mind. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this one, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers now. Bye.